Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with Kansas City vocalist Paige King. She's been singing since 5 years old and started her musical journey in the church. She was trained vocally through school and still considers herself a student of the arts. She's all around Kansas City, singing the national anthem at the Voodoo Lounge, entertaining crowds at Prairiefire, serenading audiences at the Hollywood Casino, and really digs keeping the crowd dancing and grooving. She opened up about her upcoming material that she's going to release and so much more. So please get to know her and dig this interview, my friends.
So, Paige, thanks for taking a minute out for Neon Jazz. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So talk to me about any recording projects that are on the horizon, anything new that you're working on.
I am really just working on kind of expanding my brand. This upcoming week, I'll be recording just some cover songs and demos. So it'll kind of help when people want to hear what I sound like. They can just go on my website and hear a few songs that I, sing around town.
Cool. So
yeah.
Did you grow up in Kansas City?
I did. Well, not actually in the city. I grew up in Lawrence, Kansas. And then my mom moved back to Overland Park, and so that's really where I grew up.
So you started singing at the age of 5.
My mom is a singer. She sang praise and worship at our church growing up, and I think she noticed that I shared that gift with her, and so she would work with me. My mom would, and I would sing in church. I think that's how everybody gets their start. And then I continued through school, through high school, and then I started singing in church. When my husband and I got married, I went to his church, and that's where I really, I don't want to say got my start, but I really kind of found my voice.
Very cool. So talk to me about how you started singing professionally. How did that journey begin?
Sure. It's really actually a funny story. A friend of mine from high school, we sang in choir together. Her name is Alexia Romero. Well, actually, it's Sally now because she got married. But she got a call from a lady named Laura Noble. I don't know if you know her, but she's a local singer as well. She was looking for somebody to sub for her. So she called Alexia. They had met at a singing competition. And Alexia was so busy with her own music, she pointed her in my direction. And so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll sub for you. And that turned into me subbing again for her, which then turned into me being the lead singer for Flashback.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So,
isn't that funny?
Yeah, that's awesome. So you've been around town. You've been around Kansas City, the Voodoo Lounge, and various other places. Talk to me a little bit about what your schedule's like and where you play here in town.
Right now, I am singing a lot with Flashback. We just are wrapping up the summer concert series that they have at Prairiefire, which is off 135th and Knoll. So you'll see me a lot over there. I sing with Flashback on Thursdays, just on the sidewalk, like that outdoor area, lounge area. But then I also have been singing with Funk Syndicate at Pinstripes in that same, town center area. I've been there quite a bit this summer.
So what do you like the best about Kansas City?
Oh, my gosh. There's always something going on. Like, always. Like, there's not a weekend that I've heard that there isn't, a handful of events going on. We have, like, our ethnic festival that just happened at Swope Parkway. I love, I don't want to say, not carnivals, but like just events that go down in Power and Light. Just everything. There's always something going on. Live music in the Green Lady Lounge. I mean, just everywhere. Everywhere you turn, it's something going on. I love that.
Early on in your life, what was one of the first live shows you saw that really moved you?
I don't know. There are so many. So when I was 7, my mom had an internship with 93.3, like a long time ago, and she took me to a Janet Jackson concert. I will never forget that concert. Like, that is ingrained in my head, and I couldn't have been more than 8 years old. But, I mean, literally just, like, the best concert ever. I mean, you can imagine it's Janet Jackson, right?
Yeah, sure. So if you could go back in time and see anybody in the history of music, who would you want to go see? Where would you go?
Honestly, Right now, I think it would be Celia Cruz. She's a salsa singer. Well, actually, she's one of like the pioneers of that genre, salsa, but she grew up in Cuba. I've just been like recently just like really fascinated with her sound and just her as an artist.
Why do you love to sing? Why do you love to perform? What is it about the stage that brings you into your own?
I think it's the people. I mean, I've always loved to sing. I love music. I think any musician, vocalist that you talk to, that's where our heart is, right? But it's seeing the people dance, seeing them enjoy the music, seeing how happy it makes them. That's what keeps me going as an artist, because I was actually just telling my husband this a couple weeks ago. I just got so overwhelmed with emotion, and it almost brought me to tears, because there were just different people of different races, age, religions, out there dancing with each other, just having so much fun, no care in the world. They didn't care, what they looked like or how they were dancing or what people thought. It was just genuine joy on their faces, and it just gives me so much life, so much happiness.
So if you had to convince somebody, let's say in a written piece and an article, like an ad, for someone to come see you live, how would you bill what you do, and how would you get them to come out and see you? What would you say?
They're going to have so much fun. Like, I know that sounds so cliche, but you're going to have fun. It's going to be fun, just pure-hearted fun.
Right on. So my final question is this. Everyone has an interpretation or a version of who they think you are, your family, your friends, your colleagues, but you know yourself best. Who do you think you are?
I am fun-loving, energetic, and just, I don't know. I think that's as good as it gets. Like, just fun-loving and carefree, and that's just who I am.
Right on. That's
Thanks.
A great way to wrap everything up. Thanks, Paige. I appreciate you taking your time out, and good luck with everything.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest singers in Kansas City and spots all over the world, giving fans all that music. And thanks to Paige for her time, music, and story. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino in the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com for everything Neon Jazz. Go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Oh, yeah, baby. Neon Jazz.